Hi there, I'm Raluca, just in case you forgot who I am because I haven't filmed in I think over a month now. I decided to come back on YouTube just in time to film some Christmas looks. That's what I have in mind for today's video, so let's get into it. I'm gonna start with the foundation. I'm going to mix two foundations from Catrice. The True Skin foundation with the HD liquid coverage. Because none of these are actually my shades, so I'm going to mix them to create a better match. I feel extra awkward just sitting and talking to a camera at the moment. It's out of my system. I'm just gonna do the mix on my hand and then apply it on my face. I'm not gonna get my bangs out of the way because I'm not going to apply makeup on my forehead. I'm gonna use a sponge and blend this in, and let's get to talking because my break from YouTube was kind of a spontaneous decision. The thing is just I wasn't feeling that great mentally. If there's anything I'm really trying to do with my life at the moment is be authentic. I've been doing YouTube for 2 years, I think, or a little bit over 2 years. I used to film all the time regardless of how I was feeling, so I filmed through all the bad stages that I had in life. Another thing that I did in the past is trying to hide my misery on camera, which obviously is not healthy, I guess, because I don't know, just cry myself to sleep and then the next day I would have to smile on camera, and I just did not want to do this anymore, so that's why I decided to take a break and recharge instead. I'll move on to concealer and use the Born This Way from Too Faced. I feel like there was so much that I wanted to say today, but I turned on the camera and now I can't say anything. For some reason I just, all the ideas have left my brain. Thing is, this year has been really challenging for me, but I feel like it also transformed me, and I'm in a confused stage where I have to put the pieces together. I feel like I have no direction in life at the moment. It feels like 2022 lasted like 3 years already, so I'm very happy that it's almost ending. Moving on to powder, I will just use some on my under eyes. Well, wasn't that a little too much powder? Yeah, it was. I'm just gonna blend it in. Hopefully it's gonna be fine. And set my lids as well. The biggest realization that I had lately is that for my entire life, I believe I wouldn't really allow myself to feel feelings that I would label as negative, which basically for me meant that, okay, I need to be sad for a while, I need to process some things and just allow myself to feel negative emotions. So basically that's what I did during this time off. I allowed myself to be miserable. I feel like sometimes that is very much necessary. Obviously you don't want to be stuck in feeling miserable, but I did want to allow myself to feel what I needed to feel. And I also feel like the healing process has a lot of ups and downs. For example, if one day I'm just back again at feeling miserable, I need to remind myself that it doesn't mean I haven't made any progress. I feel like we have a tendency of trying to snap out of it as quickly as possible. If you tell anyone that you are sad, they're going to come up with solutions on how to not feel sad anymore, which can potentially be healthy at some point. Obviously, if you've been really sad for a while, finding solutions on how to snap out of it would be ideal. But if you've just gone through something, I think there's no harm in actually feeling those things and not trying to distract yourself and snap out of it as soon as possible. I'm talking from experience because I used to do this thing a lot. I would try to be so productive and ignore what I'm feeling and just keep moving and keep pushing, even though I didn't really feel capable of doing so. I was pushing myself. At some point for me it all came back, so if I didn't process a negative experience from my life properly, I feel like it came back, and it came back even worse. Is this still a tutorial? I used the Hoola bronzer from Benefit. I'm doing half of my face because I want to film for Instagram as well. But now I'm gonna use this blush from Clarins. Coming back to the discussion, a thing that I have noticed for me is that Whenever I'm going through something, whenever I'm affected by something, every bad experience from my life comes back. So I remember situations where I felt the same way. It's kind of like a roller coaster of negative thinking. It's because of the same reason I didn't take the time to process the bad things that happened. So now that I'm allowing myself to feel, it's almost like I need to feel the sadness of things that have happened in the past. I hope I make sense because it does sound a little bit weird. For a while it's almost like I was trying to deny things that happened in my life and never talk about them, never think about them, even though that's kind of impossible. Like I said, it always comes back to me when I'm in a negative thinking roller coaster, I think. What I'm trying to do at the moment is accept that everything, every event in my life turned me into the person that I am today. And the most difficult thing is accepting the person that I am today. I want to do a neutral and gold look, so I will use the Nude Rich palette from Huda Beauty. I will just use 2 shades, I believe. I'm thinking of these two. So I was talking about accepting who you are, which truly for me has been a really hard thing to do. Especially lately I discovered a lot of things I don't really like about myself. So not a lot of things, a few things, but they are quite difficult to fix in my opinion. I just couldn't help it but be really mad about things that happened that shaped me the way that I am. I feel like people say that hard experiences make you stronger, which, yeah, it's true, but they also can leave you traumatized. So I'm trying to fix, is that how you say, like, fix my trauma? I don't know. But I did discover that some of my personality traits are due to some past trauma, and that's pretty difficult to accept. But I feel like it's very important to know that I will never be perfect. I will probably never be in a stage where I will be like, okay, that's it, there's no space for me to grow anymore. What I'm trying to learn is that even though I'm not perfect, I have made a lot of progress. I am trying to learn to strive for progress and not perfection, because the truth is we are always gonna be a work in progress. There's always gonna be something that can be improved. So for me, that's what accepting myself means. It basically means that this is who I am flawed, I can do things to improve, and I will be patient with myself while doing so. I want a bit more glitter, so I'm gonna take this Stone Vibes palette from Urban Decay. I'm gonna take this Tiger's Eye shade. I feel like it's very easy for people to condition their self-love with a goal. It's very easy to think like, when I'm gonna fix this, that's when I'm going to love myself, and I feel like it doesn't depend on the goal at all. It's a mentality shift that you need to take. It's exactly what I said before, accept that you are a work in progress, and that definitely doesn't make you unworthy of your own love. I'm gonna use a black pencil and smudge it to do a little smoky liner. I'm just gonna smudge that a bit. A thing that I'm trying to do, and I advise everyone to do the same, when you're talking to yourself, pretend you're talking to a friend. So if, for example, a friend would come up to you with a problem, you wouldn't tell them, well, if you have this problem, then you're worthless. You would obviously be kind about it and potentially try to help them come up with solutions. So for example, when I was feeling down, it could have been very easy for me to be like, you lazy piece of shit, you just want less work, in regards to my break on YouTube. But luckily I didn't do that. So I just allowed myself to take a break and not judge myself for it. It was mostly because I just did not want to pretend on camera like I used to. There are actually some videos that I did, and looking back I remember how awful I was feeling that particular day. And I filmed anyway. What would a Christmas look be without red lips? So I will apply the Sephora Collection lipstick. This is in the shade 1. With this one, I don't really apply a lip liner. I feel like it's pigmented enough for me to contour my lips with it. And so we reached the end of today's video. I'm so excited to be back on YouTube, even though I might not be at my 100% yet. I feel capable enough to function normally, and I'm feeling inspired. I will most likely introduce a little bit of my Dear Melancholy into my posts as well. I just quoted an album from The Weeknd, so let's just say that I will use it to my advantage. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I've always felt the need to share things like this on YouTube. It's just good for me to get the ideas out of my head, and also I like hearing your opinions on the things that I have to say. This obviously won't become an all the time thing. Some videos are still gonna be just tutorials and not me rambling about the meaning of life. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today's video and listening to my thoughts. I wish you all an amazing day, and I will see you next time. Bye!